all one more time, and we're now about to get this matchup underway here. Just gonna get some people up in here and get some things going. Uh, so we got Arrival versus Distortion, and got any insight here, Squirrel? Some things you're looking out for, playoff implications, you know? Are you scared of Arrival in their situation?
Well, I will say that we just scrimmed Arrival, and they look really good right now. Definitely, definitely speedy. This pickup of Crip definitely helping them out. They didn't have Merely, so we'll see how that affects the team. But they definitely look good. I know they're looking forward if they win and if Vortex loses, or if Blaze loses, either team, it's going to help Arrival's chance of making the playoffs.
All right. So, I mean, that's definitely some good insight there. And this is definitely, we're getting down to the wire, and it's going to be very do or die for a lot of teams going forward. And in this situation, I don't know if it's do or die quite yet, but Distortion is starting to fall behind a little bit, and they really need to step it up and make something happen tonight. But Arrival is right there on the cusp if they are not in the bottom third position. I probably should pull up the stats so I don't sound like an idiot, but needless to say, Arrival is actually tied for the third position. So they're really hoping to pull out this dub tonight so they don't fall behind a game in that race. But I'm excited to see what these players can get doing as we're still waiting on one team here.
Yeah, I guess an easy way to win would be a nice forfeit win on stream, if Distortion just chooses not to show up. But yeah, the Arrival squad definitely on the up and up. Um, Based off the player of the week sheets, it seems like they need to pull Rocker Man up a little more.
Um, I think we can't take the player of the week sheets into consideration. I heard Rockerman only subs up when the other team is subbing up novices. That's what I
Uh,
heard.
yeah, that would make sense. That would definitely explain the numbers that he put up this past week. But C
Yeah.
Money,
Yeah, what's up?
we've talked a lot about the rival game that we're waiting on. But what about the other games? What is in store for the viewers tonight?
Let me tell you what we got. We got some hype matchups coming up tonight. Up next, after this one, we take it to the Prospect League, where the very hot Origin takes on Faded, as Faded is, still looking to stay in that playoff picture here. And Origin, though, holding a big seed here, is only like one game behind Melons, if I'm not mistaken. So they're looking to tie that up or pull ahead here in the near future. Maybe jump over the Melons, the long awaited time for Melons to hop off that number one spot. And then to wrap things up tonight at 9:30, we're going to jump back into the rival league where we got Blaze and Vortex. Very close and heated race between them as Blaze is only down one game to Vortex. And they are, in fact, the 5 and 6 speed, respectively. So it's coming down to the wires. These guys are obviously going to be fighting to hold on to their spots tonight and fighting to push ahead of one of another.
Yeah, I love late season Nemesis where the playoff implications just start to all merge into one nice playoff picture, and one team is hoping they win and hoping that this other team just drops one game in the series, and it's all super exciting stuff. And all teams are well deserving, but only six can make that playoff.
Yeah, it's definitely a very competitive aspect. But hey, 6 is 60% of your respective league. So everybody still has a shot. Nobody's out yet. We have 8 games left. We're coming down. Last 4 weeks here of the regular season. And we're going to be taking actually a little break in the season this Saturday with some all-star games. Just relax, have a little fun. But it officially looks like everybody is here. So I'm gonna throw it to you to really take over now. But before you do, what do you got for a series prediction?
I think Arrival is going to take this one 3-1. Krippist is on a roll right now. Player of the week. Uh, Definitely on a high right now. And I think they're going to sell that momentum all the way through to a nice 3-1 victory.
All right, I like it. I definitely like that. I like Arrival. Um, for the sake of content, I'd like to say Arrival lets it go to Game 5, but for the sake of time, I'm really hoping it is 4 games, maybe 3. In
My
the in the sake of Arrivals, I can't root against my co-lead merely out here.
Well, considering my game's at 9 o'clock, I also hope it's a quick one, as not all of Distortion is joining. Oh, here we go. And we are about to get in this one. Gonna be an exciting one. We'll see which team can get the pressure right off the bat. As this kickoff goes in favor of Distortion, Rocks quick to follow it up. Gets a nice touch. Rage looking a little hesitant there. I know he's a new pickup here, so we'll see how he meshes in. As Crip gets a clear down to Rage. Rage shoots it wide. Crip clears it out of his box, and Nimi there to follow it up. Sky with a great continuation bounces right on top of Nimi's car as Rage gonna get dunked by Crip and a shot on, but Craig there to send it away. Nimi 50s it, but couldn't quite get any more of it as Sky sends it to the backboard. Crip is already up and he puts one in.
I mean, great little turnaround there from Arrival after starting stuck in their own half for a little bit, a couple poor touches, but Krippus there just with the straight pure speed able to get it under the one guy that attempted to contest there in the end. But it's also interesting to note, as I'm pretty sure this is the first time this Arrival team hasn't really played a game without Merely on the field.
Yeah, in the scrim earlier, C Money, they mentioned that this is the first time their roster played together, and they looked really good. As you see some early speed coming out of Sky and Krippist, as Sky just manhandling this ball down the field, gets another 50. Krippist a little too far forward, and Rage is going to try to air dribble that one out. Sky gets a good 50 into the corner. No one there to contest it. He's going to get another touch, trying to pass it, but Rocks clears this one up well. And with just under 4 minutes left to play, what do you like about this Arrival squad so far?
I mean, I'm really liking that, they've shown a couple mistakes thus far, but they really are keeping their cool about it, and they're able to get their pressure back even after lost, and really making it hard for Distortion here to get out of their own half. And like we see there, the 1 to 2 times that they've done so far is it's brought back pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely Arrival doing a great job of keeping on the pressure as a ball off the backboard. Crip couldn't quite get there. A great touch sends it off to the side as Rage just going to let Nimi take that one off his car. Nimi looking to pass this one out. No one decides to go for it. Craig going. They left the goal open, and Crip with the double touch. Give this man another player of the week.
I mean, just an unfortunate touch from Craig as that one was lacking a little bit of power, and everybody left net there, and Krippus took advantage of it and, set himself up for a nice double tap. Definitely did not miss the first shot there.
Yeah, it may or may not have been open, but sometimes you have to go for style points. Is Craig looking to do the same, but Nimi with good backboard defense. Rock gets a shot registered in Sky with a save. Sky following it up himself, gets a demo on one. A pass down from Crip. All 3 players from Arrival committed. It's a race down the field as Nimi might make it, but Craig beats him. The counterattack, C-Money just looked a little too slow there from Distortion.
Yeah, that counterattack was a little bit lacking, but it was fortunate for Arrival that the ball did go to the corner and they had to go collect it before they could start their counterattack. Otherwise, that could have been very dangerous for the Arrival team.
Yeah, for sure. And finally, we get to see some pressure here out of Distortion as they put a shot just high. Nimi gonna try to control this one. Gets it over Rocks, but Craig puts it back in. Sky, the good positioning, clears that one out. Rage going for a double touch of his own, and Nimi sends it across. Dangerous ball. Rock's going to 50 it back in off the ceiling. It's a chance, and it goes just wide. A great save by Nemi. Craig playing it back in. Rage bouncing it off the backboard, and Rocks with another shot, and Sky with a great save. And C-Money, just Distortion has just flipped the switch, and they've got so much pressure right now.
Yeah, I have no clue what to really say, as that was just amazing amount of pressure. Oh my goodness, is Crippist and Sky there managed to take one all the way down on a counter attack, and Sky with a nice touch mid there, and Crippist with a big dunk to finish it off.
A nice 84-mile-per-hour pinch, and that's got to be demoralizing when you have so much pressure for so long, and then they turn it around and put in a nice goal. As this kickoff gonna be one in favor of Arrival, and a nice ball. Sky, all he had to do is put it in a good spot, but Craig saves it. A double commit coming out of Craig and Rage, as Rage is gonna get an awkward touch in the corner. Sky trying to clear it out. Crip, good positioning as third man, sends it down into the corner, gets a follow. Nemi plays it into the box. A little bit of confusion there as they didn't quite know who should go for that ball, but now it's a one-on-one. A good 50 there as Goat is going to play it back in. Crippist already up off the backboard. Rage with a good read, and we've got a rule one, ladies and gentlemen. Craig and Nemi off to the side as Rocks puts a great pass, but Rage gets beat. A momentary 2v2, and now we gave our predictions for the 3v3, but C-Money, who do you have in the 2v2?
Just judging based on who's stuck in the Rule 1, I think Arrival's got the edge, being that Crippist isn't, fortunately, not one of the ones stuck in the 1v1 for Arrival. So that definitely probably gives them the edge here.
And they don't even have to score. All they have to do is kill it. But it looks like they're going to try to get one more here as Rocks clears it downfield. And that's going to bounce up, and no one quite there to get it as Crippist lets it fall. And a good first game from Arrival.
Yeah, that was definitely a showing from Arrival for sure. Is they put themselves in a couple bad situations, but managed to stay calm and collected the whole time. And even that 1 minute barrage on defense, they saved almost every single one of them. A couple of them not quite in a good enough position to be scored on, but if you're Distortion, you just gotta wipe that one off and move on, because there's not really much you can do against that type of defensive playing right there. It was almost flawless by Arrival there when they were on defense.
Yeah, it was very good showing from Arrival. Crippus putting on 5 shots. That's as many as Distortion had total, and Sky making 3 saves. That's as many as Distortion had total. So when you've just got 2 players that are doing what the other team is doing, it makes it a little easier for Arrival. And if Distortion can just find their rhythm like they had for about a minute or a minute and a half there, then I think they can really put some pressure on.
Yeah, they definitely can put some pressure on, and they've shown it. It's just a matter of finding the hole in the defense this time instead of more time than not shooting at the other player.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Distortion probably knows that, and we see what adjustments they make going into this one. As Nemi gets a great touch, and Crippus, not the touch he was looking for, as Craig pops it up high. Sky, first one to the ball, puts a shot on net. A good backboard as Crip gonna follow it up, puts a shot on, and it bounces off the crossbar. Rage trying to dribble this one out of his half, and he does, but Sky there to put it right back in. And a momentary open goal as Rage goes for the passing play. Sky clearing this one off his backboard. Double touching, triple touching, as Nemi there to follow him up. But Rocks plays it off. No one there to shoot as Goat gonna send this one down to Crip. Crip with a good touch downfield. And Craig gonna cut that one off. And this first minute, it seems pretty back and forward. And do you think that favors Arrival, or do you think that favors Distortion, C-Money?
Just looking at how it's playing out thus far, it's definitely gonna favor Distortion here, as it seemed Distortion definitely had the better positioning between half court and offense there, and they were able to capitalize on that one with a 78-mile-per-hour banger coming out to break the ice for Distortion here in Game 2.
Yeah, great positioning and a great shot there from Craig as he puts his team up 1-0. A great way to come back is another dangerous shot, and Nimi clears that one away, trying to get it out of his half. Him and Sky connect to get to do so. Craig playing this one to the wall. Krippus there to send it in, but a good touch by Rage sends it out, and rocks some awkward just backflips there as Krippus going to take the shot. A demo comes out, and Krippus just shot it high. Rage did good to play under one, beats another defender. The pass comes out. Rage couldn't quite get there as Sky is going to send this ball to safety. Rox has other plans as he's going to try to send this one back down. Pass a little too hard as Krippus is going to control and get it over one. Give that one up, but Rox with an uncharacteristic miss. Nemi with a good pass, but Craig better defense as it's a momentary open goal, and he shoots it, and he missed, and Nemi with the own goal.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. As Krippus was just a little too far up there and makes an unfortunate touch, but then correct. What is that? Rage? I can't see his name. Just barely misses off the crossbar, and a rival just rushing back too hard and sends it in their own net, trying to stop the play from happening.
And the chance at a kind of redemption goal, but it bounces off the crossbar as Sky gonna play it back in. Rocks with a good clear over two of them, trying to 50 Crip, and he does. Nemi pops it up. Krippus and Sky double commit. Nemi in the corner has to make a good touch. Craig with a great 50, bouncing towards the goal. A nice touch by Crip to send it down. Sky giving it right back to Distortion as Craig looking to control this ball. A nice 50 down into the Distortion box. And a demo coming out from Arrival. Not something we've seen a lot from them as Nemi, a great backboard read.
Yeah, Nemi just real quick to turn on this ball and throws it against the wall, and Craig pushing up a little too far, and Rage just spawning in. Nobody had time to read that on the wall except for except for Nemi. There we go. Able to find the double tap.
Hey, it's been a long day, C-Money.
That it has.
As
it's Monday.
Yep. As finally, after about 3 minutes of nothing, after about 3 minutes of nothing, they didn't have a goal, and then Nemi just back to back puts in two. A great read and a great shot.
Yeah, Nemi with the pure speed on that one and puts it in just the right place to stop, to really make it hard for anybody to save there, especially two guys facing each other. Com's got to be pretty tight on that situation to really have somebody jumping at that one early.
Oh, and a good shot, just barely wide by Craig, as it seems like the crossbar has been the MVP of both teams this game, as an awkward ball behind Craig. Rage does a good job touching that one out. Nemi going to follow it up himself. A good touch, beats the defenders. It's an open net, and Crip puts it in.
Yeah, what a turnaround here from Arrival as Crip finally finds one that's not off the top of the crossbar there, as that's really been plaguing him this far in the game, and could be a completely different series if he'd been hitting his shots earlier, but he's still hitting them now in the end of this one, and it's giving Arrival the edge.
Oh, and that was a great passing play just wide of the net as they're going to pinch it downfield. Crip is going to play this one to safety, or assumed safety, as Rox went flying in for that one. Nemi stopping that one from going back in. Downfield, it's a one-on-one as Nemi can't quite get the read. Krippus is up, and he gets the shot on net, and he puts it in.
Yeah, Krippus is now warming up, and that's not what you want to see if you're a Distortion fan here. Is he has now put two in back-to-back pretty quickly, and now giving Arrival a 2-goal lead and potentially locking down this second game for the two-game series lead.
Yeah, if you're a Distortion fan, you do not like to see that, as you had all the momentum going in that first 2-3 minutes of the game, and Arrival just turns it on as Crip gets a good 50. Nemi gets beat by Rock, but no one there to follow it out. Is Sky going to control it? Uh, Rock's looking to turn on it, but can't quite make up his mind as Rage can't quite get the touch. Krippus plays it downfields. Uh, Pass middle. Can it go? No, just wide. Crip, 2 goals on 7 shots. See money. It seems like most of those 7 have been either near misses or off the post.
Yeah, he's definitely not finding the shot accuracy he wants this game, but with the amount of pressure that they've started to put on here, especially in the second half of this game, it doesn't matter if you have 7 shots or 4 shots. They're that much pressure, something's going in eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. And you still have to give it to Distortion. They played the opening of that game very well, but played it very close. Led for most of the game, and then Nemi decided to turn it up. Uh, and after Nemi turned up, Crip said, "I'll do that too," as they go for 2 goals apiece to take game 2.
And Arrival really is looking hot, and they're looking hard to beat going forward with the season. And now it's really going to be up to Distortion to see if they can turn this one around and maybe find some type of footing here and hold it in the second half of this next matchup if they want a chance to take this one back and potentially line up a reverse sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to Nemi, who just mentally recovered from that own goal. I know that if that were to happen to me, I might fold a little bit, but Nemi shrugs it off as they're getting into this third game of the series. Now, C Money, with Distortion giving up the 2 goal lead, how does that? How do you think that fares for their mentality going into this third game?
Well, it really depends on who you are, but if you're Distortion in this situation, you want to look at it in a way that, hey, we couldn't score in the first game and we scored 2 in this one. So we can, we can score on these guys and we can take a lead. Now it's all about maintaining in this one. So small progress is going to go a long way for these guys. And if they take it the wrong way, obviously, hey, we just gave up a 2-0 lead. I don't know if we can beat these guys. It's going to really hinder them going forward in this game.
Yeah, we'll get to see some of that mental fortitude here as both teams jousting for the ball, mostly in the Arrival half. I think while you were talking, it looked like Distortion missed an open net, but that's in the past as Merely is in the game now. Merely subbing in for Sky. And C-Money, how does subbing mid-series affect your team?
I mean, it can affect your team in a way that maybe, it's somebody's off game. Maybe merely just not having a day today. I mean, I wouldn't blame them. It's Monday, or it could just affect the chemistry overall, depending on how much playtime these guys have together. But I'm sure in a rival situation, these guys have some hours together, so I'm sure it's not going to be too effective against them as long as they keep calm and realize that they're up in this 2-0 predicament. And oh my goodness, that F-150 just did not want that Rule 1 there.
You hate to see it. Always love a good Rule 1. As Merely and, oh my god, Merely and Crip double commit, but Merely puts a flaming shot on net. Just a little wide. Craig with a great infield pass. IQ puts it on net, and Nemi gets a good save. As Nemi, called upon to clear the ball once again, sends it downfield. Rage, an awkward touch towards his own half, but Craig was there to support him. As a strong 50 sent out by Merely. Crip can't quite get the touch as Rage looking to clear this one out. Nemi, good position to cut him off as Crip also follows up and gets a good 50. Ball off the side. Merely couldn't quite read it. Is Craig going to put a weak shot on net? Crip is there to send it away. And both teams looking really good. It seems like Distortion playing a little safer, not wanting to get swept, and with the subtraction of Skies, it seems like Arrival, see money just can't quite get the same offense going.
I don't know if it's the subtraction of skies or maybe people just think the F-150 is a little more powerful than it actually is. You know, it's a new car. It's came out recently. We'll see how they manage, though, as it looks like they're doing all right, but an unfortunate miss in the midfield almost leads to a scoring opportunity, but they couldn't quite reach it in time to capitalize. But I don't know. I think your mentioning of the Distortion playing a little safer here and not wanting to get swept might be also a key factor into a rival not scoring.
Oh, and a missed opportunity there from Distortion as the ball was just on their goal line. Crip looking to clear it out, can't quite get there as Rock's gonna get beat to that ball. Crip sending it to the side, merely gonna chase this one, looking for a good touch. F-150 loses another 50 as Rage gonna send this one down. Nemi pops it up. Craig off the corner. Rock's there to follow. A good 50 there by Nemi as Crip sending this one out. Nemi looking for a touch, gets a great touch and merely quick to follow it up, but Rage sends it away. Awkward miss there by Nemi as Rock's gonna play it to the wall. A good touch off the backboard, but merely gonna send it away. A strong pinch there as Crip gets in the way of Rage's shot. 45 seconds left here, and this one could go into overtime. C-Money, what does Distortion have to do if they want to put this goal in?
I mean, for the sake of the rest of this series and even just trying to break the ice I mean, that almost worked. That was close. Maybe if they just keep these passing plays up, they'll find what they need here soon, but they're going to have to definitely bring some heat soon. Otherwise, they could potentially get collapsed onto defense like they have earlier in the series and cause them to end up losing this one.
Yeah, and a great touch, sends it downfield, is merely going to take the shot, shoots it low, and a good save by Craig. As it looks like this ball going to drop, and we do have our first overtime of the series. This kickoff super important as it goes straight to Crip. Crip off the backboard, choosing not to go for the follow-up, as merely gets a good touch into the corner. Goat following it up, can't quite get there as Rock send it down, and a good demo by Merely opens up space as Crip looking for the double touch. He gets it and he shoots it high. Nemi can't quite get the touch. It's awkward. Crip jetties his own teammate back into the corner. Rock with a good ball, but Craig gonna play it in for him. Nemi opting to control this one. Some scuffed rotations as this first 30 seconds of OT and a chance, but Craig sends it away. But C-Money, this first 30 seconds of OT just seems like both teams trying to fill each other out and not make any mistakes.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they're a little more reserved than they have been so far in the series, but you got to give it to a rival right now as it seems like they have the upper hand. Only one counterattack opportunity thus far coming out of Distortion, and it's been mainly a rival shooting shot after shot on Distortion's net.
Yeah, and a good bump attempt by Rage. Hopefully a rival does that a little bit more to try to open up some space. And an awkward ball in the rival corner gets sent across, merely there to clear it away. As it looks like Rock's going to touch it off the backboard. Nemi is up. He takes a shot, and it's on net as Rage sends it away. Merely 50'd hard by Rocks. Rage going to follow this up. He's going to shoot, and he shoots it just high. And C-Money, that's another missed opportunity from Distortion.
Yeah, it's very sad to see for sure. As you know, I'd love to see this game continue and this series continue, but somebody's got to make the move soon and make the play to really end this one here. At least this game, not necessarily the series, but it's going to be very down to the wire on who's going to be able to do it.
And a good pinch there from Krippis puts Craig in an awkward spot. Merely looking to follow this one up himself. Rage with a well-needed touch as Krippis has some space to work with. Plays it off the sidewall, but gets demoed. No one there to shoot as Rage gonna get 50. This 50 is on net but Rocks clears away merely with a good pass down. Crip is just a little too far away, but Nemi is going to follow this one up as with no shooter, it looks like Rage is going to try to control this one. He beats one, two people on defense. He gets it past another as Craig with a shot on net saved away by Krippist. Rage puts another one just a little bit high. Double commit there by Krippist and nearly is Goat gonna control this one. Rage gets an okay touch as merely sends it back to him. Craig following it up himself. Nimi can't quite clear it out. Krippis trying to play small ball in the corner as Rock's going to play this one off the backboard. A good touch there by Krippist and C-Money. I think both teams' rotations right now are looking pretty solid.
Yeah, Distortion's definitely not wanting to give this one up, and they've really shaped up. Oh my goodness, what a play coming out from a rival to end almost a 2-minute or a 2-game time length there.
Yeah, a great passing play and a confident pre-jump there by Merely is. I think it just took him a little bit to warm up there, C-Money.
Yeah, that definitely could have been it for sure, but I mean, you got to give it to a rival on that one. Is the shot differential. I guess the shot differential wasn't really that bad looking at it now, but it did kind of look like a majority of those shots for a rival came out in overtime, which probably really hindered them there and caused them to essentially lose this overtime.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of pressure there by Rival towards the end, and the F-150 giving merely the confidence to pre-jump that one and redirect it in. Great play by both teams. Unfortunately, C-Money, we did not get the content that you wished for, but we did get to see some pretty good Rocket League.
I mean, I count it as 4-game wins. We just didn't have to go into a little break between 2 games, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. There was some good content. That was perfect, almost perfect. I couldn't have
Well,
asked for a much better game 3 there, and honestly, not really much of a better series. It was just unfortunate Distortion could never really pull ahead, even though they weren't really lacking that far behind in any game.
yeah, absolutely. And if that's just a taste of what's to come, C Money, we're in for an exciting night of Rocket League. And C Money, I appreciate you joining me for that first game. Make sure y'all stay tuned after the break. We head to the Prospect League where we've got Faded taking on Origin. And C Money, I think that's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we'll see you all there in just under 10 minutes.